An important part about being at Lunchbox is getting to know the employees and what it is that they do here in our company throughout the departments. So today I have Shawn Colbert. Shawn, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what role you're in here at the company.
Awesome. Yeah. My name is Shawn Colbert. I've been at Lunchbox for a short period of time, and I am currently one of our sales leaders. I manage our SMB and BDR teams here at Lunchbox.
Excellent. So tell us what brought you to us.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I could probably go on for quite a bit here, but I'll try to keep it short. I think, a couple of high level points are like the mission that we have here to, help the people that feed the world. I think that's awesome. I formerly am someone who used to help feed the world. I had about a 10-year career in the restaurant industry, and I've seen the way that the industry has kind of taken shape over the last few years. And to be able to come in and be an ally to the restaurant industry and operators around the country is something that I really, really want to be a part of. I want to help make their lives better, their operations better, their employees' life better, and all that stuff. So I think that the mission of the company is really, really important to me. And then on top of that, the culture, little things like even having this conversation with the head of people here at Lunchbox go a long way for feeling like a part of something, right? And I truly do feel like I'm a part of this company and the success or failure of it, right? Being one of a few versus one of the many is also really cool, where your job has an impact on how we go or don't go. And then, after going through the interview process and meeting the team and the leaders that I'd be working with, you, Sandy, as well, I just felt like I was at home. And I know a lot of people can probably relate to this, but when you're in an interview process, when you can just feel the connection, I certainly had that feeling talking to Lunchbox. And then just a little bit about me, like I'm passionate about building processes and thinking outside the box and helping develop people in their skills. And my role here at Lunchbox offers all of that and more. So, and additionally, I'm able to wear like many hats. My job is not like every day is the same. It's very different every day, which is exciting and keeps me on my toes. And I'm never bored. So if you can't tell, I'm excited about being here. And those are just a few of the reasons why I'm excited to be at Lunchbox.
I'd love to hear that. There's so many points you just made that ring clear even for me. Coming on board, it was the mission. I want to help the people that feed the world. It's something I knew I could back, something I knew I could be just support and want to be a part of. And we're doing really great things within the company. So, secondary is I love getting to know employees. So taking this time with you, helping people see the types of, employees that we have on board so that we can, potentially entice some others that may want to be a part of this as well. So I'll go ahead and move on. What are some key moments in your career that led you down the path you are on today?
So I am in my mid-30s. I spent 10 or so years in the restaurant industry doing basically every job you can imagine. From when I was 16, I was a dishwasher, all the way up to managing multiple units within a restaurant. So I think one of the key moments for me was about 8 years ago. I was working in an overnight cafe, a 24-hour cafe, and the industry is grueling and it's unforgiving. And one of my managers called out my overnight manager, and I had to cover their shifts. So I worked like an 18-hour shift. I was sitting there in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and I was just thinking to myself, I feel like I can do more for myself and for the world out there. So I took a chance. I reached out to Easy Cater, corporate catering company. That's a tech company. And I said, hey, do you think I can do this sales role? I want to give it a shot. I really think I have the skills and the experience to excel at this. So fortunately, I was brought on board there, and it was a leap of faith, right? I took less money at the time than what I was making, right? I wasn't sure if this was the right move for me, but I look back on it, it was a crossroads in my career. It was the best decision I've ever made in my life. So no turning back. And so here I am. And then another thing that I would say is I worked at Drizzly previous to this, and I was one of a very early employee there, and we helped build the company up to what it is today. And they were most recently acquired by Uber. So that was a big, professional win for me. And seeing our hard work pay off was huge. So I would say those are the two things that popped to mind when you asked that question.
Love it. So many of us started off in the restaurant industry, and just the things that you learn and the careers that we all progress into afterwards can make or break you. But I say this today, I say it to my own kids. I need you to work in the restaurant space before you're off into the working world so that you can understand connection, customer service, good and bad service. There's so many lessons to learn within the restaurant environment. And knowing that, we are, for the most part, most of us have worked in that industry, and, that's how we have created the mission of our company. So, moving on and knowing that you've not been here very long, you've already made so many, great steps within the organization and within our sales team. What are you most proud of accomplishing so far?
I've only been here for a few months. It does feel like sometimes it's been maybe a year or so with all the learning that I've done, but I can't take full, responsibility for this at all. And I never would for promotion, but fortunate enough to join a high performing team. And within the first few months, we were fortunate enough to be able to promote one of the folks from my team to the team above, which is always rewarding for me as a manager. It's one of the reasons I do what I do. And to see the hard work that that person put in and, my small impact on them, and then see them go up and accomplish their goal is huge, right? So, and then I would just say, again, I've only been here for a short period of time, but gotten a lot of positive feedback from my team and from my colleagues. And I was fortunate enough to be recognized for our culture award within our first month here. And that just tells me that the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis are working and they're paying off. And it gives me a positive reinforcement to everything that I do. So, those are just a couple small things I would say, but as I continue here, I hope to add to that list. So.
Absolutely. And yes, you've been doing such a great job at getting to know your employees, what drive them, how they feel appreciated. Those are really important aspects of a manager coming in, and exactly what we needed. There's such a good balance of skill set between each of the team members in sales. I have such a great feeling on what to expect in 2023. So really excited to see where we go from there. So, just to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, knowing you're setting goals and you're meeting goals, what keeps you motivated?
I think, going down to the bones of it all, right? My family is what keeps me motivated. I have a 16-month-old, she's 16 months old today, actually, 16-month-old daughter. She's the center of our world. So that's the bones of what keeps me motivated. I do everything I do for them to make sure they're supported and all the things that a dad and a husband should be doing, right? So, and then on top of that, I alluded to this earlier, but it sounds cheesy, but I truly enjoy helping people and developing people, whether that's the people on my team or the people that I cross collaborate with, or the operators that we make an impact on, right? That is what keeps me going, and seeing our help work is what is awesome and rewarding, right? So I talked about the gentleman who got his promotion. That's awesome. I was able to help him a little bit, but he earned it. Seeing a restaurant turn their numbers around, right? Wow, I'm not paying all this money to a third party anymore. This is amazing. Those are the kinds of things that keep me going and keep me ticking. And then I would say, winning. I'm in sales, so that's just kind of a natural thing. I'm super competitive and in a good way, in a positive and friendly environment, but winning is fun, right? And so I also coach hockey on the side as well. So I really do enjoy competition and being able to win, achieve your goals. So I would say those are the three things that kind of keep me going.
Love hearing that. And yes, all of those experiences, family, internal, external, those are all, they help drive you down your career path. So, knowing people are out there watching this right now and they may want to be down a sales path. Maybe they're listening to your story saying, I can do that too. I need to step outside of my comfort zone. What advice do you have for somebody that's interested in getting to the point of where you're at in your career now?
There's a few things I would say. One, be a sponge in everything you do, right? Whether it's learning a new hobby or learning a new skill or learning a new job function, ask questions, be unforgiving in your quest for knowledge, right? And learn everything you can. You should never leave an opportunity on the table to, I always say, sharpen your saw, because you never know when that skill or that thought or experience is going to come back to benefit you or someone else around you. Right? So I think that's kind of how I think about it. And then go outside your comfort zone, right? Take that risk. Sometimes in life, you got to take a step forward to be able to get to your goals. And sometimes that step forward might be scary, right? So weigh the pros and cons, but if you feel it in your gut, try it, right? And if it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board. And then the last thing I would say is or I would say two more things. I would say lead without being asked to. right? Like everyone can be a leader, right? And stepping up and doing little things that are maybe outside of your job description, right? And not doing them just to get noticed, but doing them because you want to. I think that's what a true leader looks like, right? So as an example, when I joined EasyCater, I was an individual contributor and I wanted to share my experience and knowledge with my team around me. So I took it upon myself to do that. I would help my colleagues with deals and whatnot. And I think that ultimately benefited me in the long run, but it also helped me learn more. And then finally, treat people the right way, period, right? I think if you don't treat people the right way, you're never going to build trust. You're never going to build rapport with your team or your colleagues or your higher ups or anything, right? So if you treat people the right way, I truly believe in karma. If you do the right thing, it comes back around 10 times. So making sure that you treat people as you'd like to be treated is the golden rule. So those are the things that I would say for advice for folks that would like to follow on a path similar to mine.
That's great advice for anybody that wants to be on a different path, right? So for me, I said the same thing. Reach out of your comfort zone. If there's somebody that you admire, ask them to mentor you. I've, made great connections on LinkedIn with folks that have been interested in my career path. It's been a very non-organic growth path, but I've just said, find what it is that you love, mentor or follow people that are going down a path that you're interested in, ask questions. And I've also done the same thing. Just if you see that something needs to change, or that you can help solve a problem, is just do it. Offer the assistance, just go above and beyond. And I just love that ending is just be a good person, be kind, be a good person, be helpful, and you'll find your growth path will just accelerate along the way. I really appreciate you taking time with me today, and I'm so excited for people to learn more about you and your growth path through this video series. And I appreciate it, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. And anytime you need anything from me, just let me know.
Will do.